Welcome to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast, your weekly news roundup of hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories from around the Gem State. Hosted by Fish and Game's Public Information Specialist, Connor J. Lease.
Happy 4th of July, everyone, and welcome back to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast. It's been another steady week for hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories here in Idaho. This week on the Hook and Bulletin, we'll be talking about potential rulemaking related to spearfishing, sage-grouse season proposals, and grizzly bear research. But first, some very important information regarding mailed postcards.
You've got mail.
Hunters who recently applied for 2024 big game controlled hunts, as well as some who did not apply, have been receiving blue postcards with incorrect information that the hunter drew a tag or tags this year. The controlled hunt drawing results that are posted on the hunter's online profiles and that were emailed to hunters have the correct information, but the blue postcards do not. Fish and Game securely provided a printing and distribution company sample data from a previous draw for the purposes of obtaining a printing cost quote, but the company prematurely sent those postcards without Fish and Game approval or authorization. Idaho Fish and Game officials recognize that this error has led to confusion and disappointment among hunters, and we deeply regret that this occurred. Fish and Game staff are committed to providing accurate, timely information. However, hunters can be assured the controlled hunt drawing was done correctly and their information is secure. Fish and Game staff is asking hunters to confirm their results online or in their email, both of which contain the correct results of the drawing. We are working to ensure the situation doesn't occur in the future, but realize how disappointed and frustrated hunters who were mailed incorrect information will be. Hunters can confirm their results and purchase tags by logging into their online profile. Only valid tags from the draw will be available for purchase, and tags referenced in the incorrect postcards will not be available. Fish and Game will be sending out follow-up letters in July to hunters affected by this, which will contain the correct 2024 controlled hunt information, along with an explanation of what occurred. Hunters are encouraged to watch for their mailboxes for these letters. Once again, thanks for your understanding on this topic. Next up, an opportunity to comment on a new negotiated rulemaking that could open up the opportunities to spearfish for certain game fish. Idaho Fish and Game has begun the process of negotiated rulemaking to consider expanding methods of take for certain game fish species, specifically walleye, pike, or lake trout, in response to a petition sent to the department in May of 2024. At the May 2024 Commission meeting, several anglers requested modification to the methods of take pertaining to certain game fish species using underwater spearfishing in waters where the department is trying to actively reduce their abundance to achieve fisheries management objectives. This rulemaking will consider comments brought to the department around this proposed rule change. Fish and Game is also hosting a public meeting at Fish and Game's headquarters building in Boise on Tuesday, July 9th from 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. This meeting will be streamed virtually on Zoom as well. If this is something that interests you and you'd like to provide input, you have until July 24th to do so. Please email any comments or feedback to rules@idfg.idaho.gov. Again, that's rules@idfg.idaho.gov. Head on over to our rulemaking webpage if you want to learn more. All right, next up, we're talking about grizzly bear research. As part of ongoing efforts to monitor the population of grizzly bears in the Yellowstone ecosystem, biologists from Idaho Fish and Game will begin annual research, trapping grizzly bears in the Upper Snake region beginning in early July. Trapping will occur in the Caribou-Targhee National Forest around Island Park, west of Highway 20 along the Centennial Mountain Range, and in the Cave Falls and Teton areas near the Wyoming border. Research trapping operations will conclude near the end of August. Captured bears are immobilized and handled in accordance with strict protocols developed by the Interagency Grizzly Bear Study Team. Bears that meet the criteria are fitted with a radio collar, and by observing radio-collared females, biologists can document age of first reproduction, average litter size, cub and yearling survival, and how often females produce a litter. Data collected from both sexes provides the estimated survival among different sex and age classes, causes of mortality, and a better understanding of habitat use and food habits. Whenever bear capture activities are being conducted for scientific purposes, the area around the site will be posted with bright warning signs to inform the public of the activities occurring. These signs are posted along the major access points and along the perimeter of the capture site. It is extremely important that the public heed these signs and do not venture into an area that has been posted. For more information on this story, check out James Brower's latest press release or call the Upper Snake Regional Office at 208-525-7290. With that, it's time for the Rapid Fire Bulletin. Sage-grouse hunting season proposals are now available for public comment. Fish and Game staff is proposing an increase in sage-grouse tags offered for the 2024 hunting season. Sage-grouse let counts increased 22% in 2024 from 2023, and increases were observed in all the zones. Proposed dates include sage-grouse firearm seasons September 21 through October 31, 2024, and sage-grouse falconry seasons August 15th through March 15th, 2025. Sage-grouse populations exhibit periodic increases and decreases in abundance in approximately 6 to 10 year cycles, and Idaho sage-grouse are currently in the upward portion of that cycle. Hunters and other interested parties can comment on the public comment webpage. Many of Idaho's lakes and ponds are soon going to be bolstered with Idaho Fish and Game stocking roughly 150,000 catchable-sized rainbow trout this July. Many of these fisheries being stocked this month are easy to access, family-friendly fishing destinations. All you need to get started is a fishing license and some basic tackle. Annual adult fishing licenses cost around $30, junior licenses ages 14 to 17 cost $16, and youth ages under 14 fish for free. Check out Idaho Fish and Game's online vendor to buy a license. Most Idaho waters are open to fishing year-round, but some may have slightly different rules. Be sure to pick up a 2022 through 2024 Idaho Fishing Seasons and Rules booklet, available at any Idaho Fish and Game office or most sporting goods stores statewide, or download online to look at season dates, special regulations, and bag limits. To see a full statewide stocking list this month, head on over to our website and check out my story, Statewide Trout Stocking Highlights for July 2024, or just hit the link in the description. And last but not least, the Southeast Region Mule Deer Advisory Committee will be meeting on Monday, July 1st at the Idaho Fish and Game Southeast Region office, located at 1345 Barton Road in Pocatello. The meeting will run from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The agenda includes a mule deer status update, goals, timeline, and expectations for committee, and more. To see the full agenda and learn more about this advisory committee, contact the Southeast Region Fish and Game office at 208-232-4703. Okay, that's it for this week's stories. It's time for our question of the week. How many crayfish traps can I use at one time? And what is the daily bag limit for crayfish? That's a really good question. Thanks for our front desk staff who brought this one forward. Apparently, they get asked this question a lot. So anglers going after crayfish, or crawdads as I've always known them, may use up to 5 traps with a valid Idaho fishing license. Traps may not exceed 2 feet in either length, width, or height, and mesh size must be smaller than 3/8 of an inch. Traps must be tagged with the owner's name and address, license number, or sportsman ID number. If a crayfisher wishes to have more than 5 traps out at one time, they must apply for a commercial fishing license and associated trap tags. There are no seasons or bag limits for crayfish. Now, I will add that a new Idaho administrative rule was recently approved which allows the live transport of crayfish that aren't listed as invasive species by the Idaho State Department of Agriculture. Live transport of invasive species such as rusty or red swamp crayfish will continue to be illegal. It's very important that crayfishers take this new privilege seriously and improve their crayfish identification skills to prevent unintended consequences caused by the spread of invasive crayfish. On the other hand, signal crayfish and virile crayfish may be transported alive to the person's home if they plan on cooking them later, provided they land in your boiler pot and not in another pond. Crayfishing is a fun pastime with opportunities found all over the state, and this new rule change will help ensure folks keep enjoying their crayfish boils for years to come. That's all the news we got for this week. Thanks for putting an ear to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin. If there's something on your mind or if you got a question related to fish and game matters, feel free to drop us a line at podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Again, that's podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Seriously, write in. If you have anything on your mind, we got all the resources available here to help answer your questions. And you might just help out a fellow angler or hunter too by asking something that's been on their mind. So have a safe and fun 4th of July, folks. Hold on to your fingers if you can help it. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.